Yeah, I think that like it's important for the companies to learn how to operate in the Web3 environment, and I think Adidas is a good example, or Gucci. Uh, they have entered the space relatively early, and I think it gives them a great opportunity to learn, to see what works, what doesn't work, and really feel it out.
You said that the bar for quality in Web3 is really, really low. Can you talk a little bit about what you meant when you said that?
And I can actually update that, and I can say that there is no bar of quality in Web3 whatsoever right now. We see it, projects that are getting a lot of traction for no reason, just because of the hype. And a lot of people are buying into NFTs or into different tokens with just the expectation to make great returns, but they don't do any due diligence in terms of like who is behind it and how is it structured and so on. And when I told you last time that I feel the bar is very low, I like, for me, it's like when I look at the, especially like I come from tech background, right? So when I look at the technological elements of those Web3 companies, and I'm like saying majority, definitely not all of them, but majority of them, I feel like we are back to 90s, right? The websites are like not mobile optimized. They are like coded extremely poorly, and to me, it feels like someone who just learned basic HTML yesterday went and put up this site, and like I think like it's 2022, and we have different expectations from what a website should look like and how it should function. And I think it only gives the opportunity to people and companies that have the skill to enter Web3 and make a bigger impact, as we see with some of the more prominent projects that are making big waves, because they are building on a foundation from from before, and they know what it means to build a great tech product. They know what it means to really cultivate the engineering culture and everything. I think the funny thing to add to it is like that in the Web3 space, there's just so much money that um, it's like very easy to very easy way to fundraise, but people are not looking at what's on the background, who is behind it, who is gonna build and deliver the product that they're claiming they have on the roadmap, and so on. So I think that just means that we are very early, and yeah, there's a lot of opportunities. So I definitely think that the bar is right now set very, very low, if there is any bar at this point.
You're seeing people like Adidas and Puma starting to move into the space, and they function at probably the highest levels of brand building consistently, from digital to store to delivery. They understand that flow, and they've invested in it for decades. It's actually how they compete with each other the most. I'm interested in how you see this kind of evolution, because we, like you said, we're in the hype phase. Everyone's just running around shouting NFTs without any real understanding. How do you think it will sort of evolve into brands and products that will live beyond this initial explosion?
It's a wild west, but I think that the companies that are diving in early are going to benefit in the long run because they are already acquiring experience. They are building their communities in Web3. And one thing that I would say to that is that what I see very, very often, that even like huge communities that already existed, and they have like hundreds of thousands of users, subscribers, whatever it is almost impossible to convert them into Web3 just because of the clumsiness of the solution at this very point. Yeah, I think that like it's important for the companies to learn how to operate in the Web3 environment, and I think Adidas is a good example, or Gucci. They have entered the space relatively early, and I think it gives them a great opportunity to learn, to see what works, what doesn't work, and really feel it out to then figure out what's going to be their course of action, right? How do they replicate their huge success from the fashion retail to something in the digital world or in the metaverse? And it's not about looking at NFTs as overpriced JPEGs. Of course, like there is an art element that people value. There is also a technological element that people can value, but there is also the community element and the proof of ownership element in NFTs, and you can mix and match them, right? You can have an NFT that will feature artists, but that will also unlock you a ton of utility in real life, for example, or that will give you access to a certain community of people. And you can mix and match. And I think what I would love people to realize that, NFTs are not just about the visuals. It's a whole slew of things that you can apply them to, and that's also another reason why I would like to be contributing with a little bit of evangelism in that sense. It's really hard to transition, and we can call it Web 2 communities into Web 3 communities, because right now there's just a whole lot of obstacles. And I think that the companies and the brands that start with this early, they will benefit tremendously because they will be ahead of the competition. And I think if I can mention another example, if we look at what Gary Vaynerchuk did with VFriends, I think majority of his effort prior launching the NFT was educating his community in terms of what is an NFT, how do I set up a MetaMask, how do I protect myself from scammers, and it was like the majority of his time spent on like deeply educating people about what's coming.
Brands do need to step into that space of guiding people from, Web 2 to Web 3. And I guess there's also a huge opportunity for the people that can sort of delete some of that clumsiness, to remove some of the barriers. You can now buy a nifty gateway with a credit card. You don't need a wallet, and it sort of all happens magically in the background. And I think as those barriers sort of crumble, the audience expands exponentially. Hello YouTube, I'm Ross Drakes. I'm the founder of Nicework, and thank you so much for your time at watching this video. If you're seeing me, it means you made it all the way to the end, so we've at least done something right. If you enjoyed this, we'd love it if you could hit that subscribe button and that thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And I think more important than that is if you know someone who might need to hear this, if you think someone out there who needs this message in their life, please spread the link, because it makes a huge difference to the world, and it allows us to fulfill our message of making sure that there are no more bad brands in the world. Thank you very much, and we'll catch you in the next video.